Oh, you made it. You're finally here. Welcome to Half Cocktails, a place where we have a great time celebrating science, the social contract, and just plain old congeniality. Dare I say, a place where we seek a path to peace, prosperity, and exploration amongst the stars. What I'm talking about is an all-inclusive society, meaning if you're not on board with the understanding that we all agree to shared rules, norms, and respect, we're not even obligated to consider your opinion, because the social contract is that important to a civil society. I'm your friend and host, Dan, the worshiping Dionysus man, sipping on some science today, welcoming any new listeners joining us. We hope you're doing well and having a good time. I know I am. Joined today, my lovely wife, Jamie Lynn, and our dear friend, Dr. O'Donnell. How are you doing today, Doctor?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. How are you doing, Jamie Lynn?
Lovely. I like her very doctor-esque. I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
We're going to break her down this episode. I promise.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever called you doctor before, but it feels right.
You don't
right.
have to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi, Lexi.
But it's fun.
Hi.
It is fun. Folks, we have a great show for you today. Stay tuned until the end. We've got 10 facts about life that you just won't believe. Really fun, informative show brought to you by the Hill Valley Telegraph, still accepting donations to save that clock tower. On today's episode, we're going to take a look back at the Gregorian calendar reform of February 24th, 1582, everybody's favorite topic, calendars. We'll have some fact-checking. We're going to talk about how artificial intelligence is helping us achieve that limitless fusion energy. There's a new species of giant snake down in South America. We've got evidence of Neanderthal glue. We'll be talking about some snake oil involving a new twist on timeshares that I just heard about recently. And of course, we'll wrap things up with a feel-good story. We do encourage you to reach out to us at halfcocktails@gmail.com. Maybe you want to send us a voice or text message at 443-499-8253, or even just drop a comment on our TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram. Okay, all right, let's hop in the time machine.
Nothing would be better than a look at days of yester in a time machine.
Calendar reform is strangely something I am very interested in. And very famously, we had, to calendar lovers. No one knows this. What am I talking about? The Gregorian calendar is what we currently use, but we didn't always use this calendar. It came to be by a Pope Gregory the 13th, on February 24th, 82. Yeah.
Get your dates right. It's calendars.
Get your dates right. It's calendar time. You've got to. That's the fucked up thing. Okay, so what is the calendar? We're trying to keep track of the days of the Earth circling around the sun. That's what the Gregorian calendar is doing. But the Earth doesn't circle the sun in like a even uniform amount. Classic societies all over the world used what was called a lunisolar calendar for a long time, where you're tracking the sun cycle and the moon cycle.
Which makes so much sense. Come on, guys. Moon months, come on. We keep going. I'm sorry. I feel strongly.
Is that where month comes from?
I believe so.
Etymology of moon. No, month. Yes, you are correct. Old English month of Germanic origin.
Yeah.
Good work.
Ding, ding, ding. You should have fact-checked me. I just fact-checked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're going to say something, I want to get it right. The lunisolar calendars there's Chinese ones, Buddhist ones, Burmese ones, Assyrian, Hebrew, Jainist, Kurdish, Nepali, Hindu, Japanese, Korean, Mongolian, Tibetan.
As in every civilization ever is going to have one, right? I mean, we all have to time things.
Mayan. I don't know. Did you say the Mayan calendar? Yeah.
I did not. That's a good example.
And that's an important one because that was telling us the end of all time.
Oh, you mean where they couldn't chisel any more days on the rock, so we just assumed it must be the end of the world?
Something like that.
We ran out of space. It's the end of time. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun era for us. So the Gregorian calendar replaced the Julian calendar, which is what replaced the Roman lunisolar calendar. So that lunisolar calendar was based on, like, the months were based on lunar months, but they had to keep adding days and months to get it to track with the seasons of the sun, is the issue with the lunar calendar. Because the moon's orbit is its own orbit. It has nothing to do with the orbit. Well, I mean, it has gravitational things to do with the orbit.
It's got its own mind.
Yeah, it's got its own mind, right? It's its own drummer. Fucking moon. It's its own drummer. So Julius Caesar stepped in 46 BC. He stepped in and made the Julian reform, and he added a month to their calendar. He actually made the year 46 BCE 445 days long.
Crap.
To get everything on track, because there's like a drift. Like, the longer you use a calendar, the more you have to keep adding days to get it to line up and adjust. So Julius Caesar made the leap of 365 days, and then we'll add a day every 4 years. And that was so much more accurate than lunisolar calendars of, well, we'll add a 30-day month this year. We'll add a 25-day month this year. That kind of stuff. But assuming that the year is 365 and a quarter days, has a small rounding error.
Just a tiny one.
It's tiny, but it adds up. So what had happened for Pope Gregory in the 1500s, and medieval scholars knew about this was happening for a long time, was Easter, the date of the equinox, had shifted, like the actual day on the calendar and when the equinox was happening. And the Pope was like, fuck, I gotta fix this shit.
We can't have this kind of slippage.
We can't have a Christian holiday not landing on a pagan day.
There it is.
Like, we can't not have those line up.
We did this for a reason. I need that pagan holiday to align.
We need it to line up with our Christian holiday. Otherwise, we'll lose the brand.
You're going to lose all those pagans.
So the Gregorian calendar got adopted. What he did was it basically shifted. He shifted everything over a few days. It's still not perfect. You know, we've got our 12 months and the leap day.
I was gonna say, you got to add that leap year in there to kind of round it out, which is
the difference
strange.
is the Julian calendar had a shift. So I don't remember the exact things, but it's like the Julian calendar had a drift of a few days every like 130 years, and the Gregorian calendar has a shift of 0.1 days every 400 years.
That is crazy. I can't math. I'm a reader, not a mather. I find it amazing that somebody can go through and calculate. That just blows my mind, and I love it. That they can go through and go, oh, okay, 130 years from now, Easter is not going to fall on our pagan holiday, guys. I don't know. That's genius math to me. I hate it, because can't we just get this figured out? Well,
calendar reform is a thing that people have been trying for a while, because there is a better calendar. There is a better calendar.
Tell me more.
And
can we get it on the ballot?
It's called the International Fixed Calendar. And no, it's never been popular. It's a 13-month calendar where each month has 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then there's a leap day at the end of the year. It's your end of the year day. Doesn't follow in any month. It's just like, this is our extra day at the end of the year.
Wow. Okay, I could see that maybe that wouldn't be so popular.
Well, there are tons of reasons why it doesn't. People don't like it. It doesn't line up with the seasons because it's just following a 52-week cycle. So the seasons eventually shift, and the dates of holidays don't change. People don't like that. So, like, like originally when it was put forth in Congress, they were like, we're going to change the 4th of July? No. And then what? It's always on a Tuesday? Fuck that.
And even now, they like constantly shift Easter. Isn't it Easter that they shift? Because it's either in April or March, depending on...
Because it follows the lunar calendar. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is amazing. So we're following the Gregorian calendar, but let's have all our holidays follow lunar and solstice, which makes more sense to me. You know, the pagans had it right to begin with. We should just, let them have it.
I think we just start counting days and just have like a Star Trek stardate. Sorry to bring Star Trek into it, but just be like,
Ron will be proud. Ron will be
proud. It's what stardate is it? Like,
that makes
we'll
more
just
sense.
Start counting up.
Also, is it the inappropriate time to throw in how terrible daylight savings time is? I know that's not very calendar.
No, it's not inappropriate. I hate daylight savings.
Daylight saving time sucks, and I just cannot believe that we still abide by it.
It's so obnoxious.
I want to go back to the days where everybody just sets their watch to 12 when the sun is directly ahead. Old West time, like, oh, sun's in the head. Let me set my watch to noon. No daylight savings time. Never needed.
Lexi and I were just talking about that. She's like, I would love for it to be 6:30 here. I'm like, no, it's dark already. I hate daylight savings.
Yeah, it's awful. It is just awful.
I am not looking forward to springing forward. That's coming.
Yeah, it is.
Medical studies have actually shown how it kills productivity.
Yeah, it does. It's bad for you.
It is bad for... It's bad for us biologically. It's just awful. It's an awful thing we do to ourselves. Why? I almost wonder if it wasn't one of those trading places rich man bets where they're like, I bet we can fucking get people to just wake up an hour earlier.
That's the worst bet in the world, those fuckers.
We'll tell them it's to give them extra daylight. Does it change the amount of daylight we get? No, not at all. We get the same amount of daylight regardless of when the fuck we wake up.
Except for in Arizona, they've got it right.
Yeah, yes. Arizona's got it right. So everyone moved to Arizona.
Leaving Arizona was so hard because of that. It's once you move one state over, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, I gotta do what? When do you do it? How do you remember when to do it? What the fuck?
It's so terrible. I hate it.
It's terrible.
All right, now that everybody's fired up and hating on daylight savings time, thanks, Calendar Talk.
Thanks, Calendar Talk.
Let's talk about some news.
It's time for some news from our point of view. We'd even be glad if we could have a laugh or two. It's time for some news.
Down in South America, researchers wanted to do kind of like a genetic deep dive on the green anaconda, and they gathered genetic samples from like 9 different countries, and it actually discovered that what was thought to be just the green anaconda is 2 distinct species of anaconda. Now, these are the not the longest, but the largest in terms of weight, largest fucking snakes in the world. And it turns out there's 2 distinct species. They just look a lot alike. So they're calling them the northern and southern green anaconda. I gotta say, I'm happy that I'm not a snake scientist or a biologist, because I don't want to go hiking through the jungle specifically to find these giant
Snakes that can
beasts.
eat you?
Yeah, a snake that could literally swallow me.
Snakes that literally weigh as much as a male gorilla? Fuck. That's a big snake.
Up to 1,100 pounds.
Oh, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, 2 of these, the weight of your car.
That's a big snake. Holy fuck.
Okay, well, that was according to anecdotal evidence, apparently. When I dig the details. They've only been recorded, like you said, about the size of a gorilla, about 500 pounds. You know, according to people in South America, they're like, oh, well, you know, my uncle once saw one that was as big as a house.
They're probably all as big as a house.
Right?
When you're just walking and you turn the corner, and they're tree dwellers, right? So this thing just drops down in front of you.
Oof.
Yeah, it's as big as a house as I'm running the other way.
Jungle Book takes on a whole new vision.
It's seriously, that's how big these snakes are. 27 feet long. They measured one. At its thickest, 3.6 feet wide. A diameter of 3.5 feet.
That's
yeah. If you were to have like a pipe for like a wash for water to go under the road, 3.5 feet is big enough for a large man to crawl through.
And a snake.
A big snake. In other snake news, I was reading about a python breeding operation.
Yeah?
I don't know. They call them dreamsicles. They're like white and orange.
Dreamsicles.
Wait, they call the pythons dreamsicles.
Dreamsicles.
That invites all sorts of images.
Pythons, yeah.
Okay.
I know. So just imagine. But they had one that accidentally, I'm sure it wasn't on purpose. Its little orange spots on its back came out in the shape of emojis, like little smiley faces.
He's a happy snake.
It was an accident, I think. An emoji snake.
Whoa.
That's how we know how he's feeling.
Whoa. Wait, is it just like there's an emoji on the snake, or is it like there's a pattern of emojis on the snake?
A pattern of emojis. Here, I'll put a picture up.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a link to that picture in the episode description.
Those are some creepy happy face emojis on that snake.
And the poor snake. Yeah, so they're in Georgia, I guess. I was reading about that yesterday.
All his friends are going to make fun of him. He's going to have no snake games.
I know. They're going to be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh, well, maybe it's the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer of snakes.
Right?
Maybe. And those are tiny snakes comparatively.
Okay. So they're a small python. This isn't.
It's a python. I don't know. It looked kind of big to me, but not like 3 feet wide, 3 feet diameter, whatever.
Were they breeding these snakes for like any purpose? Like, was it like? And I don't know how deep you've read.
I think they sell them.
Okay, see, so they're breeding them, those fuckers. So they're breeding these poor snakes to get emojis on them so they can put a higher price tag on them.
I don't think he meant to get emojis. I think he's breeding that dreamsicle, whatever it looks like. Although I didn't actually look up what a dreamsicle looks like.
That makes sense.
And then that one just popped out that way.
Okay, so he's breeding them for their albinos, and the pattern
or something. I don't know.
What you're calling the dreamsicle, it's a color of orange that is patterned on the albino snake. So that's what he's breeding. These lavender albino ball pythons.
Sorry, the dog's moving, so he's shaking my hand. So yeah, a dreamsicle ball python is a piebald ball python, and they pair it with a lavender albino to make the dreamsicle.
You know, it'd be really impressive is if this guy can do a dreamsicle python with the Jesus face.
Like toast? Or is that Mary on toast?
No? Too much? Or Mother Teresa? I don't know.
Oh my goodness. But if it's a Christian imagery on a snake, then I'm just like, does it cancel itself out? I'm confused.
Fucking Satan.
Probably.
What are you doing?
So weird.
Okay, so this guy sold this ball python for $6,000.
Holy crap.
That's a lot.
I'm looking at the picture. It fits in a hand. Like it is tiny.
Oh, so it's not
just
big.
A little guy.
It's
just a little guy.
Snake.
So it would qualify as cute.
Guy.
You don't have to worry about it growing up and eating you later in life, or your babies, or your dogs, or your cats.
That is how I feel about creatures. Like, if you can harm me, you don't get to be cute. But if you're too tiny to harm me, like, you can be adorable.
We're not going to have any anaconda pets, is what I'm hearing.
No. Okay, a couple other news stories. AI has been used to actually crack the puzzle to get fusion reactors like online and consistently running. Very exciting, not biology.
AI.
I know, AI. But, I mean, it's by controlling the magnets in the superconductive fusion reactor, it's able to keep the plasma from touching the sides of the reactor the way the fusion needs to keep going. Because if the plasma touches the sides of the reactor,
it cools.
Yeah, exactly. It just cools right away, and they can't have that. This AI is so fucking good at it. They were like, "Hey, can you control the magnets to, I don't know, make like rain droplet kind of plasma?" And it was like, "Sure, do it like this." Bloop. Like they're using it to make fucking like patterns. Well, like, oh, I bet they could make emojis like the ball python.
That's crazy. So they're using fusion to do cool things. Hey, hold my beer. Watch this. I can make AI do this.
Because they trained it to operate the magnets. And then they were like, wait, it's doing such a good job. Can it do things we didn't program it to do? And that's what they wanted to know. And it was like, yeah, sure.
It's a fun and sexy time for fusion. My question would be, okay, so it's doing these cool raindrop things. That's cool. What if it becomes like the AI you had talked about before, where it starts doing nefarious things and then lies about it? We want that in control of our fusion?
The certainly not. Certainly not. I don't know the specifics on the setup of their AI model. All I know is that they trained it to operate the magnets to maintain the fusion, opening the door for literally limitless electric energy. Which, I mean, that's a game changer. If
right, I agree with O'Donnell's sigh of I don't know about this. It sounds like it's. Tell me if I'm interpreting that wrong, Lexi. But I feel like that's opening the door to the most terrible apocalyptic movie ever.
I think so too.
Okay, well, I mean, I too believe that the AI will rule us in the future, but I'm just willing to celebrate them now. I was always in your camp, robots. This is on the record.
Going to be an ally of the robots when they come to kill us all.
They're going to tap him in as their president. Just do as I say, Lisa. Do as I say.
Yeah, I'll be the leader of Vicky France. That's right.
Yeah, wow. Well, on the plus side, we're friends of his, so he'll keep the robots from killing us, right? So we want to make friends with Lisa.
Maybe.
He just said maybe.
Oh, shit.
No, maybe they'll. I think if that scenario, if I was watching that movie, I would expect the AI to be like, "And now that you're no longer useful, Dan, fuck you, die." Ah!
And all your friends and family.
And I would get nothing for betraying humanity. Nothing.
You go down in history as the greatest betrayer of all. That's something.
The heartless AI would celebrate me. Let's all take a moment to shed some ones and zeros in remembrance of that idiot that fucking betrayed his own kind.
You remember 001-00011. He was an idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Okay, sorry. We were talking about fusion.
Or AI.
Right?
People are using AI to write papers for them in classes and things.
They are. Are you having experience with that?
I haven't had anybody do it.
That you know of?
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. You just don't know.
I told them they can use it to like organize references and things, and we do like assignments with it, like ChatGPT or something.
It's an incredible tool. It's I think obvious a lot of the times if someone just does a flat copy and paste. But if I had to write college papers, because I fuck with AI a lot, it's like, hey,
I'm glaring at you.
I want to. Yeah, you should. Yeah, I'm gonna. Hey, kids, listening. Here's how to do it.
No, don't do it. You do it yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying is you use the tool to assist it and how to put it in your own voice. Rarely do I come up with what the AI tells me and I say, "Oh yeah, that's presentable." It's always, "Okay, thanks for organizing the key points, and here's how I would say it." But that's me. If I was in school right now, I could crank out papers 3 or 4 a day.
You wouldn't be a lawyer who would put those before a judge and say, yeah, we came up with those.
Did you hear about that? The lawyers, they had the AI calculate their fee.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one.
And the judge cut it in half because it was like $1 million or some shit. And like they had won, and so the other side had to pay their fees. So the court was like, "Hey, submit what your fees are." And they had the AI do it, and the judge like looked it over and was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? No,
this is batshit.
No.
Wow, that's ambitious. Thanks, ChatGPT. I mean, you always want to aim high, you know.
I feel
Hope for the
like
best.
with ChatGPT, I could be as good a lawyer as some of these I'm seeing on TV, on the news.
Yes. Yes, you could. Just check that the cases are actually real, not made up by ChatGPT.
Your Honor, in Fraudster v. Fakerton.
Yikes.
Yeah. And last story to cover before we move on. They discovered that Neanderthals were using glue in their tools,
Oh.
which may sound minor, but is actually probably a really big fucking deal, because it wasn't like a simple like, oh, they grabbed this sap. No, they were using adhesives where they were mixing and heating and creating glue. And they found they actually had these tools sitting in under lock and key from like the 60s, just waiting to be studied. And they cracked them open, and it's a mix of ochre and bitumen that had been heated to the right level, which created grips on like a say like a stone blade. It would create a grip that stuck to the stone but not to the hand.
Genius. Necessity is the mother of invention.
We're smart.
Right?
Yeah.
They're very smart. Very, very smart. Because like I said, this is not just being like, oh, that sap is sticky, I'll use it. No, this is lots of trial and error. These two things they had to gather from separate areas. They weren't just next to each other lying around.
And then figure out that they go together to do this thing.
Go together with heat in the right amounts, the right ratios.
God, the human brain. Okay, full disclosure, when you first mentioned, we were going over your notes and you mentioned Neanderthal glue, I thought you meant like glue made from Neanderthals.
Look, when you need a glue that just lasts the test of time, I'm talking about the best glue you've ever fucking seen. You can't do better than Neanderthal glue.
Neanderthal glue. Oh, I am so glad that's not what we're talking about.
Well, what kind of show do you think I'm doing here?
Okay, back on target.
So, Neanderthal ingenuity. Look at that.
I'm not surprised.
It's impressive. That is very impressive.
I think they made jewelry and stuff too, so they're fancy.
They did, and I think they were one of the first ones they were doing ritual grave or burying, weren't they, Lexi? Some of the first ones?
They were burying their dead. I don't know if they're the first ones.
Well, maybe not the first ones, but they were doing the leaving things in the grave and...
Yeah, they think that they're burying their dead. I think there's some debate about the famous burials, the Shanidar flower burial. And I think some people maybe think it was like an accident that there were flowers in the grave, and other people think that it was a purposeful inclusion.
Yeah.
Accidental. Huh. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't think it would be accidental. I don't think for 1 second humans and colors, like just our whole hunter-gatherer system of we're gonna gather, right? Like gathering flowers is such a easy, natural offshoot of gathering vegetables. Why did you gather them? They're pretty. I put it behind my ear. I wanted to smell it. I wanted you to share it and with you. And hey, smell these flowers. Oh, I pick a bouquet. Then the smell is really strong. Like, come on, that's so easy and natural. I don't for a second think that somebody would be like, oh, this person, they loved the smell of these lilies. We're burying them. I'm going to leave the lilies with them because they loved it so much. Like, that's so fucking natural.
Tangential but related is that there are chimpanzees who started picking like blades of grass and putting them behind their ears as like ornamentation. They think.
Aw, that's so amazing.
Fancy chimp with a feather in his cap.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You know, he's hot stuff over the block.
I'm imagining he's, lording it over the other chimps. Like, oh, you don't even have a blade of grass beyond your ear. Your old-fashioned opinion is shit.
I would always also postulate that, honestly, Neanderthals, obviously, they were doing art. They were doing gluing, apparently. Like, they had all these high-end thoughts, right?
Tool
You're going
making.
to form attachments. Tool making, they were highly intelligent, and you're going to form an attachment with somebody, and you are going to be experiencing loss. It's like the human condition, or
And animals.
I think I can call that.
Too. Yeah.
Yes, animals do too. Elephants, Jesus. I don't doubt for a minute that they were like, I'm sorry you're gone. I'm going to put this in here for you because I miss you.
For the record, we are Neanderthals, right? Like they bred into humanity. They didn't disappear.
They kind of did. I mean, we're a little bit. There's like a little tiny bit of that in human background, but we're humans. We're like our own brand of thing.
With a tiny dab of Neanderthal.
A tiny dab, yes.
Is that going to fade out completely? Are we going to lose the Neanderthal trait completely? Right? I mean, you would have to like keep genetics going, breeding Neanderthal.
I mean, I think it kind of stays alive if you procreate with somebody, and everybody has a little bit, then you pass a little bit on to the tiny human.
According to Google, the percentage of Neanderthal DNA in modern humans is 0 or close to 0 in people from African populations, and about 1 to 2% in people of European or Asian background.
Yes.
So we're already at a trickle.
Like maybe there wasn't that much interbreeding. There's like a little bit. But I don't know how to do that kind of science. It's just me speculating wildly.
Okay, well let's put a bow on that and move on and talk about some snake oil.
It's coming back around to snakes.
That's right. It all comes back to snakes.
Oh, snake oil on sale for me. Nothing but snake oil, and it ain't free.
Okay, timeshares. Ladies, what do you know about timeshares?
Are they a scam?
They're a scam. They want your money for less. I don't get more. You get more.
This is funny because my last job was at a resort here in Vegas. That's a timeshare resort.
Oof. How well did that go?
I fit in great. I wasn't selling them. I was just, guest services. So anyway, I had to sit through several meetings where they were like, "You've probably heard timeshares are a scam, but they're not."
But they are.
So the classic idea that we have of timeshares being a scam is just in the existence. Like you buy one and then forever you're paying so much for a year, and you're probably not going to be able to use it. Right? That's the setup being they make it difficult to use, so you're paying for something that you don't use, and then they can oversell. That's not the scam we're here to talk about today.
Uh-oh.
Because timeshares have, because of that bad rap, they have, like the company I worked for, they have pushed back and tried to reform and be better. There are legitimate places like that you can come and easily use it. Regardless, this is specifically, this story involves some timeshares down in Cancun. And the comes out of USA Today. They interviewed this guy that he had a timeshare, a condo.
Mm-hmm.
Spent $47,000 on it.
Wow.
And wasn't using it anymore, but he had to pay monthly fees. And he got a call from somebody saying, "Hey, we want to buy it." And he was like, "Oh, sweet. Okay, great." And it was reasonable. It was, they wanted to buy it for like $65,000.
Mm-hmm.
He'd owned it for 6 years, so that's like a reasonable appreciation. And here's the catch: they told him, "Okay, hey, we need you to wire some money into this escrow account. We need you to wire $3,900 because it's an international real estate transaction."
Okay.
Well, there was no buyer, and
ouch.
He wires the money, and boom, he's just burned.
He's out $4,000.
Well, then he tries to sell it again.
Oh, he didn't learn his lesson.
No, he didn't. He later described it almost like an addiction. This one man with this single scam over and over and over again got bilked out of nearly $1.8 million trying to sell this condo.
Holy fuck! What
This
is
is
he?
so sad.
Yeah.
Also embarrassing.
So what has happened is the cartels in Mexico have started. Basically, this is one of the businesses they run. So they'll sell legit condos and timeshares, and then they have a legit business, right? Like the timeshare and the condos. That like if you're going and visiting your condo and paying your monthly condo fees or visiting your timeshare, great. That's fine. They'll take your money and they'll let you use it. There's no scam there in terms of what you get for your contract.
But if you try and sell it,
yeah. Well, not if you try and sell it. If someone contacts you trying to buy it, like you are able to sell these things. It's just not to scammers. But it goes fucking deeper.
Tell me, how deep, Dan? How deep?
This is awful, though.
So since they've got these call centers, they hire people that speak perfect English. So you don't know that they're from a different country. It's not like the typical 90s where they've got an accent, they're from somewhere else. No. They follow up and they scam you and they get your money, and then they'll pose as government investigators.
Oh, crap.
To help you get to the bottom of the fraud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they get you again.
This is so awful.
It's so awful. They got you when you bought in the timeshare.
Then you try to get out.
You try and get out taking a buyer on, they get you again. And you're like, I need help investigating this crime. And they're like, I'll help you. And I got you again. Fuck. That's sad genius.
Yeah. Well, these people are down there. It's like a call center. They're clocking in. The cartel is treating it like any criminal enterprise. Like any capitalistic enterprise. They
both begin the same way.
What's going to make them the most money? How can they get the most money? Let's refine these methods. Let's make these methods better. How can we? Let's bring in some outside consultants to really streamline our workflow to get the best scamming we can get.
Do the people that they have running the calls and stuff, are they like? Do they have free will agency, or are they prisoners
working for the cartel knowingly?
Have you gotten one of those texts where somebody texts you and they're like, "Hi, how are you?" And if you text back and you're like, "Who is this?" and they talk to you. I was reading this article like months ago after I got a series of weird texts about how the people who are doing that, they've been like kidnapped and kind of imprisoned, and they have to do it. And if they like threaten their families or them, and they like beat them and keep them captive and things.
Holy crap.
Horrible. And so I wonder if it's like similar, or if they like are, free agents who are working.
To the best of my knowledge, it's like a job to them.
Okay.
We've seen it, to the best of my knowledge, I have seen similar instances in India where they're like, it's a call center like any other would be, but they just happen to be scammers there. And the people there are like, well, yeah, this is my job. That's what I do.
It's just my job.
I work at a call center. Yeah. It's just we scam. You sell shitty products.
If you're working for the cartel, I don't know. Lexi might be onto something on that one, because of course they're going to threaten your family.
Well, I just think that this is the kind of I don't know. I've never been one to try and get things done with threats like that, but I would assume you'd get better sales and better scams with people who want to be doing it to get like a bonus. Right.
Well, honestly, it does sound like it'd be more of a legitimate business, if you will, because obviously they're triple dipping. So keep it as legit as possible. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Triple dipping. Holy cow, that's an enterprise.
Oh, right. Okay, all right. Well, now that we talked about some snake oil, let's play a fun game. Let's do some fact checking time.
Oh boy.
Here we go. What do you know? It's fact checking time. Will you believe or be deceived? It's fact checking time. Cross my heart and hope to die. Stick a needle in my eye. Here's the proof that all the kids call fact-checking time.
All right. So, who's playing today?
1, 2, 3, not it?
Let me explain the game real quick. I'm going to present 2 news events, one of which will have been actually fact-checked by media sources, one of which is just a news event. And you have to pick which one was actually fact-checked.
We can do this, Lexi. We can tag team.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I'll let you both discuss it, and then you can decide on what
There we
together.
go.
Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. Either a recent Facebook claim that Mexico City is running out of water was fact-checked, or a social media claim that President Joe Biden issued Executive Order 9066, providing people who enter the U.S. with a $5,000 gift card. Sorry, illegally enter the U.S.
Illegally. There's the trick.
Yeah.
They're fact-checking Mexico. I don't know, Jamie-Lynn. What do you think? Mexico.
Well, I'm going to go with, I know Mexico City is running out of water, so that's a reality. I'm going to say that they probably fact-checked the illegal. What do you think, Lex?
I feel like they might not fact-check it, and they're just going to put it up. It was on social media. It's a claim.
They're just going to assume.
Yes.
Right?
I think so.
What's the final answer?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't decided.
I'm going with Mexico. But Jamie-Lynn, you could go with what you wanted to.
Okay. First question. We're going to go with Biden illegal aliens was fact-checked.
All right, that is correct.
Yes!
They fact-checked it?
They had to fact-check that. They had to fact-check that. They had to fact-check that. But Joe Biden, for the record, did not issue Executive Order 9066 to give illegal immigrants a $5,000 gift card.
Fine.
You would think that that's dumb on its face, right?
It is dumb on its face. I want a $5,000 gift card. Joe.
You just have to be an illegal alien.
I'll hike through the desert for that, sure. Executive Order 9066 was actually issued by FDR in 1942. It was authorizing the forced removal from the West Coast of anyone deemed a threat to national security, i.e. you people of Japanese ancestry.
What an a-hole. That jerk.
Yeah, right. It's strange that this social media post referenced that. Mexico City didn't get fact-checked, but it is actually months away from running out of water. It's really bad down there.
Phoenix is behind it.
Really?
They're taking all their water.
There you go. Fact check me.
Claim on podcast. The city of Phoenix is stealing Mexico City's water.
Now Phoenix is going to be mad at me. Don't be mad.
Yeah.
I'm from Tucson, so screw you, Phoenix.
I think you're going to be okay. We don't have enough listeners yet. They won't be angry.
If you get banished from Phoenix, trust me, you're okay.
I know I'll be winning, right?
That's a win. That's a total win.
Next two. Reportedly, Taylor Swift has spent $500,000 on a new wardrobe for Travis Kelce, her new boy toy. Yeah. Rich lady buys rich man fucking ton of clothes. Or was that fact checked? Or the fact that only 6,800 American soldiers died in the Revolutionary War.
Oh, they're fact checking the clothing. I don't know.
I'm going to side with Lexi on that one and feel like the clothing would be what they would have to fact check. They're just going to assume only 6,800 soldiers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nobody fact checked it. Everybody just assumed that, Taylor Swift,
she
the
would actually do
billionaire,
it.
would just buy him $500,000 fucking dollars worth of clothes. 2 houses worth of clothes.
But isn't she recently a billionaire?
Yes.
Maybe she wants to hold on to that for a while to be a couple billionaire. Then you buy the clothes.
I just don't think he's hurting for money.
No, he seems to be fine.
And now he can sell all his old clothes. The number 6,800 troops dying in the Revolutionary War is the accepted estimate by historians, which is crazy low.
Okay, so you're saying that was fact-checked?
The amount of soldiers dying was fact-checked. Yeah, you got that one wrong.
I find that surprising. Because mostly people are interested in what Taylor Swift is doing, and they have fact-checked that. But okay.
What I'm saying is no one doubted that Taylor Swift. Nobody doubted it enough to get it fact-checked. Anyway, last one.
Okay, Lexi, we can do this. We just got to get one more right.
We're doing really bad.
No, we're 1 for 1. Come on.
You're doing good. I'm doing bad. It's only because Jamie Lynn's on my team.
It's okay because there's nothing at stake for losing this game. Okay. The first story reports that the Florida man Surgeon General, letting unvaccinated measles kids choose whether or not to go to school after they've been exposed to measles. Was that claim fact-checked? Or people claiming that Kid Rock and Jason Aldean canceled their shows in New York to protest the Trump fraud ruling?
They're fact-checking Kid Rock.
I'm going to go, Lexi, I don't know if we're right on this one. I'm going Kid Rock because the Surgeon General is definitely saying that, and I don't know what they would fact-check about that.
Measles kills. Measles kills. Measles kills.
Measles kills. We almost had it eradicated. And then this fuck comes along and says, it's your choice. Go to school or not. But
measles bad.
Jesus.
MMR good.
You got it correct. The Kid Rock story was the one fact-checked.
Yay!
Did the Florida guy say the thing?
Yes, he did.
Yes. The Florida Surgeon General was like, well, we'll leave it up to the parents to decide whether or not they send their unvaccinated measles kids to school.
I thought you were saying that they let the little kids decide. And I was going to say that there's like some recent neurologic, psychology, neurology, brain studies. And the brain is not like a fully adult brain until 30 now.
Yeah.
So I was going to say that would be a very bad decision. But it might also be a bad decision to have these parents decide.
I mean, we are talking Florida, so are we surprised? Their brains aren't developed.
That's horrible, though.
It's truly horrible. Measles is so bad. If you're not vaccinated, it's got a 90% virility rate, meaning you got 9 out of 10 people that aren't vaccinated that come into contact with it get it, and it will kill you.
Yeah,
it's terrifying. You know, my brother, the smart guy in prison, was an anti-vaxxer. And I used to argue with him all the time, like, we got the vaccines. We got measles, mumps, rubella. Fucking, I get a tetanus shot every 8 years. Like, why are we okay and you don't want your kids to have the fucking vaccine? He's like, oh, well, they changed what they put in them.
No.
They put different bullshit in them now, and now they're really going to hurt you. And his poor fucking kids, now, they're some of them adults now, because it's been long enough. And they never got their fucking vaccines as kids because he's a goddamn idiot. It's awful.
Damn.
In 2021, 128,000 global measles deaths among unvaccinated or undervaccinated children under age 5.
Oh,
damn. That's terrible.
That's 128,000 deaths just under the age of 5.
Yeah.
Just.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's what it says, under 5, yeah.
And yeah, they don't have the choice. Like, they did. Like,
yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about something feels good.
A call for a sip, maybe even a hit, and join us for half coffee, and join us for half coffee.
Okay, I've actually got 2 stories, so I'll get through the first one quick because the second one's the one I really want to talk about, but I liked them both, so I didn't want to leave them both on the table. 21 black rhinos successfully moved to New Kenya home with space to breed, hailing a return of the species after 50 years.
Damn.
Yeah. They have successfully transferred 21 eastern black rhinos. Right? And that's a viable breeding population, according to
but just barely, geez.
Just barely, yeah. In the 70s, they had 20,000, and
holy crap.
By 1989, they were down to 400.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's minor.
Reintroducing them is really, really great stuff. There's a I'll definitely post a link to the article. There's a very funny photo of a rhino had stopped breathing and they were reviving it, and it woke back up and jumped up, and it's like 30 veterinarians and scientists just running.
Run away! Run
Because
away!
it's a black rhino, it's giant, and you're gonna be scared. And on top of that, there has been a breakthrough FDA treatment that destroyed the tumor of a 3-legged dog that could not get surgery to remove the tumor, as it was already it was too much being a third. It's having already had its surgeries, but they used this new drug, injected the tumor, totally gone.
That's
Totally
a movie,
gone.
man. That's a movie.
It is a movie.
Yeah, 87% success rate on this new treatment. It's a drug called Stelfonta. It back in 2006 or 2008 in Australia, they discovered this stuff that they were getting from bushwood berries. Blushwood berries. They get this extract called tigalanol tiglate. Yeah, I can't say it. I've had too many drinks. And
Nice try.
but it's wild how effective this fucking tumor drug is for these dogs, because it not only does this substance attack the tumor, but it stimulates the immune system on the other side of the tumor.
Damn.
So it's yeah, right? It kills the tumor and gets the body to heal.
That's genius.
Double whammy. 87% success rate with this drug, and it saved the life of a beautiful 3-legged dog, American Pit Bull with a heart of gold.
They called him Tripod.
Yeah, of course they did.
Aw.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
Question. Do they have it for cats?
No word,
I'm just-
but I think it might work for cats.
It should, right? That's
Yeah.
the same kind of deal for cats?
Different biology.
It's true.
Let's hope that at the very least they can find a way to get this drug to work in cats and humans. They are currently doing trials, of course, to get it to work. But I mean, that's just like a game changer. If they're like, oh, we don't have to go in with a fucking surgery. Let's just inject your tumor with this
Damn.
stuff we got from the blushwood berry in Australia.
And I would imagine, honestly, that's a step away from being able to do that in humans, right? I mean, like Lexi
Yeah.
said, it's a
I
different
would hope
biology, but how close would that be?
I mean, I take dog Vicodin all the time, so
That's what's wrong with you.
So much.
No. But I say that in jest. I used to work with a girl that was like, if I get sick, I'll just go take fish antibiotics. I was like, no, don't do that.
Wow.
Don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
Ivermectin. It works.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, Lord. Okay, well, sadly, that is going to bring us to the end. Had a great time today. We'd like to...
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks. Thank you for coming by today, Lexi. Thank you, Jamie Lynn. Thank you, Ron, for showing up. I love you all. This has been a great show. I got to thank the Hill Valley Telegraph, proud sponsor of that school dance where that guy kissed his mom.
Awkward.
Looks like we don't have any time left for the 10 facts about life that you just won't believe. Sorry, folks.
Oh.
That's on me.
Next time.
Next
time round.
We'll get to it.
I'm sure sex figures in there somewhere.
You can just watch the 80s television show Facts of Life. They're all in there somewhere. Need to give a shout out to Science, Congeniality, and the Social Contract, making society better than anarchy for many of the last thousands of years. And any last thoughts or farewells, Lexi, Jamie Lynn, Ron, before we wrap this up?
Be kind.
Be kind. Always good
See
work.
ya.
There you go. Try.
Keep on trying. Never give up.
Keep on trying. Okay, have a wonderful day, folks. Never give up. If you had a good time with us today, you know what to do. Tell someone that needs us. You can find us at halfcocktails.com, where we're on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. If you're in a giving mood, you can find us over on Patreon. We'll have all those links in the episode description. Thanks for stopping by, and go out and be well.
Now things are ending it's time to go. No more to get through, thanks for listening, that's our show. Ain't affectation, we're just leaving you half-cocked. Half-cocked. We had a good time talking today, but even best times eventually they fade away. Ain't adjuration, we're just leaving half-cocked.